Currently the fire's about the estimated 130,000 acres. 425 homes have been confirmed to be lost, with several other outbuildings destroyed as well, a couple hundred of those.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It is unbelievable. It's devastating. It's horrific.
The largest of 5 major wildfires in Southern California has triggered more evacuations along the coast north of Los Angeles. Mireya Villarreal is there.
The ferocious Thomas fire barreled into Santa Barbara County overnight, lighting up the night sky as firefighters battled to keep the flames at bay.
They just told us to get out of Carpinteria.
The fire forced many residents to evacuate the coastal town of Carpinteria. Alex Frecker and his girlfriend Lissa Pratt had only a few minutes to escape.
They woke us up at 2 a.m. and literally within 5 minutes, looking back at the ridge, there was flames coming over.
Scenes like this are popping up all over Carpinteria. Overnight, firefighters thought they'd catch a break from the weather, but the winds picked up early this morning, threatening hundreds of homes in this area down in the valley where crews continue to fight it. The Thomas fire has already charred nearly 200,000 acres and destroyed more than 500 homes in neighboring Ventura County.
To see this kind of fire activity in, the middle of December, it's just unprecedented.
Fire spokesman Dave Zanaboni says crews are trying to prevent the same widespread destruction from happening here in Santa Barbara County by creating barriers ahead of the fire. But he says what's really needed are calmer winds.
You can have 10,000 fire engines here, 10,000 firefighters. You cannot stop a fire when there's fuel and it's wind driven.
The conditions here are very dangerous for crews. Behind me, the terrain is steep and rugged, so airdrops are essential. Overnight, the winds are expected to die down, and for the rest of the week, things should be pretty calm, giving firefighters an opportunity to get a better handle on all of the blazes here in Southern California. Elaine?
Mireya, thank you.
CBS 2's Jasmine Vaal continues our team coverage, and she's just above Foothill Road in Carpinteria. Jasmine?
94,000 people evacuated, including this neighborhood in these hills right above Carpinteria. And you can see these firefighters. They've been parked here all night in the driveways of these homes, protecting them from those flames, because look at those right up there on the ridge line, really picking up right now as the sun comes up. The winds have died down, but we're talking the topography that is now driving this fire. 18,000 structures threatened still, and this is burning west. It's marching right past Carpinteria, Summerlin, and then Montecito. A new video this morning of the battle against the Thomas fire, and this is from the Ventura County Air Unit. You're going to be looking at the hills just east of Carpinteria. This is around 4 a.m. We've heard these choppers flying overhead. Ventura and Santa Barbara County fire helicopters like this one, they've been making water drops throughout the night. And this fire is burning in an area, very dry vegetation. It has not burned in about 50 plus years. And just look at the flames as we move to video of that. 6,000 firefighters facing this. The Santa Ana winds fueled the fire over the weekend as it jumped containment lines, moved into Santa Barbara County, and it grew even by more than 50,000 acres during the day yesterday, triggering those new evacuation orders east of Mission Canyon, north of Highway 192. And sadly, Jeff and Sharon, as we bring it back out here live, more homes were lost yesterday near Carpinteria. It seems hopefully they had a good handle on this overnight, or that at least they made more progress, as you mentioned, with containment going back up to 15%. But you see ash has just been raining down this entire all these coastal communities really going to be affected by this now, and they're going to be handing out these smoke masks to the public today in Carpinteria and throughout the Santa Barbara area, and it's a good idea to get one.
Boy, we really do need some rain, but unfortunately we're not going to get it anytime soon.
Flames burned hillsides right behind homes in Fillmore overnight. More proof that Thomas fire isn't giving up without a fight. CBS 2's Randy Page is live in the neighborhood now to show us what it looks like right now. Randy?
Well, Lena, no, this is not snow coming down here in Fillmore. This is actually ash, and you can see it because there's not much wind to blow it out of the way. We have not seen much wind here all day long, but it was a much different story before the sun came up this morning. It's day 12 on the Thomas fire.
Sounded like a roar.
And this morning, flames continued to threaten homes on the fire's northeastern flank near Fillmore.
And hear the crackle and the pop, and there was just, all these loud sounds, bangs and booms, like it was right behind our house.
Bill Edwards and his family stayed up all night looking out the window of their home as the wind howled and the flames grew closer.
It's been absolutely incredible. The flames shooting up so high that, we were standing in the backyard and just seeing them shoot up 30, 40 feet and watching it burn seeming so close that you could almost reach out and touch them. It was incredible.
Fire Command says wind gusts more than 30 miles an hour whipped up the fire and drove it right up to the backs of homes. Linda Riley says she's been resting with her eyes open on her back porch.
My husband, who's been watching it, he says that some of the avocado trees are up in flames.
This huge fire has already burned about 400 square miles, close to the size of the city of Los Angeles. And as of this morning, it was only 35% contained.
As you can see, we're ready. We're packed up, with everything that we can get. Just throw the dogs in and go. I'm not going to unpack. Not till tomorrow.
And we are back live. See the engine there right next to a home. Firefighters are keeping a close eye out tonight. They're hoping that the winds will not come up like they did last night, and that really is the real concern here, because this has been a wind-driven fire from the beginning. Again, not much wind today, but there's potential of more wind coming here over the weekend, and that is the big concern. Let's go back to you.
All right, Randy.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Tom Yamas, and we begin tonight with breaking news. The first major snowfall of the season, blanketing 20 states from Texas to New England. Much of the eastern seaboard. Take a look in the storm's grip tonight. Some 90 million Americans feeling the system's chill. Record-breaking snowfalls in a number of states. Hazardous driving there in Delaware, and that overturned car on a slick road in northern Ohio. And these drone images over Alabama, that cold weather blast knocking out power to nearly 200,000 customers throughout the South, all the way up to Maine. ABC's senior meteorologist Rob Marciano starts us off.
Tonight, the South digging out as the first winter storm bears down on the Northeast. From Texas to Florida, the usually mild South still frozen.
We don't know what the weather's going to do. Hopefully it'll turn for the best.
Weather even delaying Air Force One, finally landing on a snowy runway in Jackson, Mississippi. The storm there, the biggest to hit in 3 decades. Parts of Alabama buried under a foot of snow.
I didn't want to make the news.
Cars stuck and spinning all the way to the Carolina coast.
Some guy in a truck slid off the road and hit a car.
And right now, 160,000 without power from Mississippi to Maine. Airline traffic snarled for a second day. The storm forcing the cancellation of over 2,000 flights, delaying 3,000 more. And in New Jersey, crews working to keep the roads clear. The plow trucks are out, but more importantly, it's the salt that's doing the trick with this storm. Farther north, enough snow on the roads to cause these wrecks in New York State. Both drivers okay tonight. More like slush in the city, but some spots could freeze over tonight as the snow keeps coming down and New Yorkers struggle to navigate this winter mess. And in Philadelphia, a snowy matchup for the Army-Navy game.
A lot of snow in that field. Rob joins us now live from Central Park. Rob, we can see the snow coming down where you are. Where else is the snow hitting right now?
A wide expanse, Tom. Take a look at the entire I-95 corridor. Still a slick go. Generally 2 to 4 inches has fallen in this area. Could see another 1 to 3 inches tonight. And again, a slick travel there. I-70, I-80, the backside of the system, some snow accumulating there. It all ends from west to east, and by 7 a.m., Boston, New York, Philly, you're out of it, but the lake effect snows will continue as cold air pours down. So cold, as a matter of fact, that any snow that fell in Atlanta will still be there tomorrow morning, sub-freezing and wind chill advisories for central Florida, including Orlando, northern Florida, hard freeze warnings. That's going to be the legacy with this storm, stunning the South with an early season cold and snow. Tom?
Yeah, those images from the south were truly incredible. All right, Rob, thanks.
Oh ragazzi, ho una pelle d'oca che voi non avete neanche idea. Mi sto cagando in mano.
Forza! È che sarà freddo gelato. Non fa freddo. Bravo Freddo. Non c'è neanche niente. Forza ragazzi! Abbiamo uno in ipotermia, eh?
Ma secondo me
With a white Christmas on the cards, Britain is bracing itself for more travel disruption ahead. Large parts of the country saw snow on Sunday with nearly 30 centimetres in Wales. But the most snow experienced in 5 years has grounded flights, shut down roads and severely disrupted rail services. At Heathrow Airport, de-icing planes caused hundreds of delays and cancellations. Flights were also briefly suspended at Birmingham and other London airports. Rail travel was also severely disrupted in the Midlands and on trains to and from Oxford. Emergency services had to attend several incidents on snow-covered roads in the Midlands. The Met Office has issued yellow weather warnings for ice for some parts of the country, with 130 km/h winds expected in the southeast. Meanwhile, hundreds of schools have also closed as temperatures drop to as low as -10 in rural areas. But the wintry weather hasn't forced everyone into hibernation.
Yeah, absolutely love it. It doesn't happen all too often, so obviously we've got to take full advantage of it when you can.
Recording mo?
Hujan baru sebentar tapi udah banjir tuh, udah setengah. Dan nggak boleh lewat situ karena itu makin dalam, makin rendah permukaan tanahnya. Parah sih. Padahal ini Rasuna. Ya, helmnya lanjut. Aku pengen kita motornya lagi lanjut. Helmnya lanjut.
Pemirsa, hujan deras yang mengguyur DKI Jakarta membuat jalan protokol Letjen Sutoyo, Cawang, Jakarta Timur tergenang setinggi 50 cm. Akibatnya arus lalu lintas di jalan tersebut mengalami kemacetan panjang hingga 2 km. Sejumlah kendaraan terjebak di tengah banjir yang menggenangi Jalan Raya Letjen Sutoyo menuju Pulau Mas, Jakarta Timur. Banjir yang diakibatkan hujan deras ditambah dengan buruknya saluran air yang berada di pinggir jalan membuat ketinggian air mencapai 50 cm. Kemacetan panjang pun tidak terhindarkan, para pengendara nekat menerobos tingginya genangan air, harus mendorong kendaraan mereka lantaran mogok. Bahkan, pengendara terpaksa mengangkat kendaraan ke atas pembatas jalan untuk melewati tingginya genangan. Para pengendara yang terjebak berharap pemerintah segera cepat tanggap mengatasi banjir yang sering terjadi di kala musim penghujan tiba.
Ek het gesê hy kom hierdie kant toe. Ja, so hy kom reguit oor, hoor. Okay, ons spins. Gaan terug as hy draai my toe kom. Sien, hier beweeg hy booms oor. Daar die kant van hom. Ja, kyk, daar vat hy al goed, check hoor. Ja, hy lig goeders op, al klaar. Dit kan hierdie bak nie net klip en ry nie. Kyk, dink jy julle besef wat nou aangaan nie? Ja, hulle neem video's op. Kyk hoe waai dit hier voor verby. Het maar daai alkorrel gesien? Hy is so groot. Trek hy, voel pompie stuurwiel. Ja, yes, kyk hoe kom het aan. Jy sien hoe die balle aankom. Kyk agter ons, Bernie.
Skade aangerig. Hierdie is Bantry Bay. Ons is op pad nog van Misty Bay toe. Hier lê drade en kabels, alles op die grond. Dit is onbeskryflike skade aangerig. Gelukkig het ons materiaal begin omgedraai, weggery. Hier is 'n boom deur die muur. Hier is die muur weg.
so lucky I got the car out of there. Oh, no way! I've never seen hail that big in my life. Oh my goodness, look at that one. That's the size of a tennis ball. No way, this is hectic. Whoa! Whoa, one just smashed there. Oh, snap! Oh man, this is crazy. I've never been in. Oh my goodness, look at that one out there. They're window smashes. Oh, what the hey? Look at the size of these, man. Oh, this is hectic. Oh, I've never seen anything like this in my life. Oh. Man, I parked the car up against me. Oh, man. Look at the size of that one. Oh. Whoa. Snap. Oh, man, what? Oh, I'm looking at you. Oh, what? What? Oh, no way. This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this in my life. If I was standing outside, I'd be dead. I just got out of the car, ran around under the shelter here. And man, I'd be dead. Look at the size of them. I'm going to get one and show you what I'm talking about, man. They are massive. Oh my goodness, I've never seen anything like this in my life. Oh, I can't believe the size of these suckers. Someone's going to die. This can't be happening, man. Whoa! I just smashed the roof. What? I've never seen anything like this. I'm so lucky I decided when it was raining to come around and
caught up in it say it felt like a cyclone. The damage just as bad for these homes in the storm's path.
Well, I'm not very happy with Mother Nature, but can't do anything about it.
When the tree came crashing through her roof, Sue Denning was right here, standing in the kitchen.
Heard a crack. My husband happened to look over and yelled out, "Run," and that was it, we were gone.
When the family returned to see what was left, it's hard to know where to start cleaning up. It was almost impossible to get back inside at the Partons. There's little left of their living room, but this was where they retreated.
Was it scary?
Yeah, a little bit.
But everyone's okay?
Yes, everyone's okay.
It could have been a lot worse. We're just so thankful that we're okay, and, you know, it's just a house. We've got our lives, so we're blessed.
This is what these families and their homes were up against.
Adrenaline levels through the roof.
Hundreds of thousands of lightning bolts were recorded. Parts of the Sunshine Coast copped more than 100 millimetres of rain in less than an hour.
We woke up this morning, there's just this mess everywhere.
Clearing and reopening the roads was one thing, restoring power to 20,000 homes across the southeast was another. Have you ever seen anything like it?
No, it's never been this bad that I can remember.
For many residents, it's now a wait and see with the insurance companies. For families like the Partons, the structural damage is that bad. They're now in temporary accommodation, but there's no telling when they can move back home. Trains weren't going anywhere from Gympie to Caboolture, crews madly trying to clear the tracks before tomorrow's commute. There was too much mess at the Irwin's Australia Zoo to even open the gates to visitors.
So that's actually our priority at the moment, just clearing all those areas. Certainly all of the animals are safe and sound.
They'll be back in business tomorrow. Those worst affected will be waiting a lot longer.
We're all alive, we're all well, so that's all that matters.
Live to Brittany Klein. Britt, how long could the clean-up take?
Well, we're down here with Energex crews who are still working to restore power to hundreds of homes. The problem is the damage isn't concentrated to one area. Just look at this property we've come across. This is a carport and usually there'd be 2 cars underneath it, but it didn't stand a chance in last night's storm. The Weather Bureau tells me they call this a microburst, and they're actually quite common during severe thunderstorms, but there's just no telling when or where they're likely to hit.
Brittany Klein, thank you.
My name is Andreas Alström, and I'm a Chief Research Consultant here at the Geological Survey of Denmark and Greenland. In this new study, we've been looking at 40 years of measured discharge from the Greenland ice sheet. And what is new here is that we're looking at 40 years of measurements, not model output or model results in any way. So this is unique. It's never been possible to do this before. And what we see in this study is that there is a dramatic change happening between 2002 and 3. So there's an abrupt shift in the amount of meltwater that comes from the ice sheet. So if you compare the mean discharge before and after this abrupt change, it's 80%. So something has happened. Something is triggering an increased meltwater output. So the reason behind this shift that we see, we've traced that back to changes in the atmospheric circulation by looking at where did the air parcels that arrived in this place, where did they actually come from. So we've looked at the particle trajectory paths going back 1 week, and see what we see is that the air is coming generally from a more southerly location. So there has been changes in the atmospheric circulation where the air masses are moving south compared to previously. So we can connect the change we see in the meltwater output to changes in the atmospheric circulation. So what we see here for the first time is a connection between measurements of runoff from the ice sheet and changes in the atmospheric circulation. So this will help us look at how well the models can capture what is going on the ice sheet. We have measurements, we can validate the models. So with this, we can increase the credibility of the models that will look into the future.